folks? 3BG at the Movies is back, and we are here to talk about the third Avatar movie, third of five. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Avatar Fire and Ash. And let me tell you something, folks. I will wholeheartedly admit it. This is probably the most entertaining out of these three movies so far.
By far.
I remember, like, the first movie, obviously, it's a setup movie. So there's a measure of grace you can give to that first movie where it's like you're setting up this world, you're setting up the stakes of the humans coming onto this world that basically do their basically trying to kick out the natives.
I'm not gonna call it genocide, but I am gonna say
it's what's the terminology that we say when they're booting people out?
Gentrification.
Yeah, they're trying to gentrify the planet basically and stuff because they got this unobtainium thing that they're going to do. And I think one of the background things, and we brought it up in the last movie, is that on top of the quote unquote unobtainium, over the course of at least the two movies up until this point, to this third movie, they found other sources that they can send back to Earth that is worth a lot of money other than that. Now, whereas the second movie, I laugh, but Sue was right. It was like, look at these water effects. It's so crazy, right? And I will give it credit. Water effects is dope.
Looked good.
It was great.
No, it looked great, but
you'd be hard pressed.
I'm not gonna ignore the fact that James, you gave us water porn, sir.
But if you really were to ask me, was the plot entertaining? Not really, because it's just Jake Sully and his family living with the water folks, and there's the culture clash, the water folks and the sky folks, and oh yeah, by the way, the guy that got killed in the last movie, he's a Na'vi now, and he's adapting to be a Na'vi alongside his other cohorts that got killed. But you don't really remember much other than like Sigourney Weaver might be back because she's the youngest daughter now who has magic, possibly, whatever.
Not gonna spoil it. I mean,
yeah, but
let's just say a lot of things were made clear.
Yeah, it was made clear.
After we saw this third one, it was made.
Yeah. So
clear.
The third movie is taking that, but it's like, all right, we're done with the discourse now. The humans are coming for blood and all that stuff from the last movie because they sank our battleship, so we gotta get revenge, basically, And to be honest, that's what makes this movie interesting because we're seeing that conflict, but also
apparently there was a war going on.
there was wars going on, but also it's funny. James Cameron takes the piss out of fucking white folks, top to bottom, in this movie. If you're white and you're one of those fucking chodes online, I hate to say it like this, they are like, I hate DEI and all that stuff. Well, buckle up because James Cameron is coming for your necks. All right. And you know what? Life imitates art because it is accurate to the history of this country.
Sir, when I tell you the amount of people I heard beside us, in front of us, behind us saying, yo, we really doing this right now?
Which is funny because the first two films kind of dabbled in it a little bit, but they didn't go crazy far into it. It was like you got a little bit of like the first movie with the Colonel being basically like, these natives are savages, kill them, which I'm like, that's white people shit, genocide them all, like you said.
When certain characters just decided, all right, it's been about a good hour and 45 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I was like, yo, say it with your chest. Let's go.
Look, I already knew what time James Cameron was from the first film. When that Colonel said, yeah, time to napalm these fucking natives, I'm tired of this shit, I was like, oh, I already know what time he's on. He is really doing some commentary on this country and what we did, like, what white folks did. All right, cool. I respect it.
I was like, fam, look, I get it. It's the third movie, but God, we really are 10 toes down on business, it's on site on everybody.
So basically what you have in this film is Jake Sully and his family, they are still living with the water folks, the water Na'vi, basically. They still, in the background of it, they still been basically pushing back against the humans, trying to encroach on it, obviously, which that's fun. Again, it's a background thing that's been happening because the humans have been basically busy with their sort of mini metropolis place that has highways and shit, which is weird in and of itself. Um,
It's like, oh, so we're just terraforming, huh?
yeah, we're terraforming basically. So they're living with the water people, but there's the concern from Natiri, where she's still kind of mourning the loss of her son. You know, Jake is being Jake, what a father does in that sort of way, where he's just keeping himself busy to kind of forget what happened from the last film and stuff. So everything's kind of going where it's going. And Sue predicted this shit in the last fucking damn movie, and I'm laughing. So there's a new set of Na'vi, the Ash people, so to speak. And
It's like close enough. I was gonna
it
say
ain't the desert, but it's volcano, still the same. And you know what? It's accurate to the fact that obviously with the Na'vi folk, you're going to have a segment of Na'vi that ain't going to be for the whole we worship the god and all that stuff, which I think is interesting because that's I think that's part of society right now. Like, you know, you have people that are Christians, but there are people like you believe a guy in the sky, get the fuck out of here. Like, you know, and that's accurate. Yeah.
CJ, when I tell you that it is third movie syndrome when the plot point of these brand new Na'vi that have been that are introduced as to this movie came out of nowhere, by the way, just show up and they're like, yeah, we went through a situation in our lives. We asked our God for help.
He said,
God
fuck you.
didn't, and God didn't answer. So
which, I get it. I understand.
So when I heard that, I was like, okay, that's 9 out of 10. That's usually a plot for the first movie, but the fact that you're introducing this in the third movie, I'm like, okay,
I can dig it.
How many more movies of this we got?
No, but I like it because it's like, and I think that's to credit James Cameron. I like the fact that like you can say that, to your point, it is kind of a thing of you see these new Na'vi and you're like, comes out the blue. But I do like in the background, they've just been kicking around for a while and they're just like on some Mad Max. Oh, you got some items we want. We're just going to go ahead and pillage it. I'm like, all right, cool. That makes sense.
And the thing that kind of got me though was and again, more sequel syndrome is now that we're living amongst the Aqua Na'vi, if you will. Like Sully's going hunting. Well, not really hunting, but going fishing.
Yeah,
finding old weapons that he can use.
Yeah,
and he
from the last movie, actually, continuity.
Yeah, he fished all these old guns from the second movie and brings them back to the Aqua Na'vi in this third movie, and they look at him like, "What is this? No." Like this goes this goes against the ancient ways of doing things. And I said, and there's that guy.
No, but here's the thing though. Now the inverse opposite of it, you have the Ash people. To a point, again, this isn't spoiling. This is kind of giving you the basis of what the stakes are here. Not only humans, but their boy, the Colonel, basically does what we've seen historically with white folks. Hey, natives, we got guns here. Aren't these dope? And it's kind of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of vibe, because the Colonel is adapting to himself being this Na'vi, and he's flexing because he's flexing on the human cat Colonel that she's like, yeah, you're staying on base. And he's like, word, lady, I could fling you on the other side of this base if I wanted to, but I'm not. So what are you doing here? And you know what? I respect it because it's like, that's what happens when you put somebody that is hungry for power in the body of somebody that killed him. It makes sense. Of course, he's going to be feeling himself. And I like the aspect of Varang. That's the lady that's like head of the Ash people.
Mm-hmm.
She's basically like, yo, I don't believe in your God. Fuck y'all. Y'all got to go. And she takes to Jake out here using guns. She's just like, I want that. And the Colonel sees that and is like, I could use these people. And granted, to Varang's credit, she peeps that shit, but it's that mutual kind of like what happens when an alpha sees another alpha.
You got to have some kind of mutual respect. Otherwise, it's going to be clash all day.
It's like there's like a mutual respect, like, oh, this motherfucker, oh, he's about, okay, I'm kind of turned on by this guy. Like,
yep.
All right, shit, cool. And it's the funniest interaction between the two because it works. They both are filling each other out. in a variety of ways, and it's like, oh god, this is like the perfect storm of like villainy. I'm with this. This is great.
You and I said this in the theater. No, actually, no. I'm sorry. That was with I was saying this to our boy Sam. Shout out to like Team JVS. I said, son, is it just me, or are we watching the like Negan infiltrating the Whisperers arc again?
Nigga, look,
Because dude, as soon as he got with Varang, I said, "Yep, this is Negan and Alpha right now."
Dude, the Colonel and Varang. Look, this isn't spoiling it, but the way they looked at each other, they might as well just got fucked and got just going on ahead and just fucked in front of the screen right then and there. I mean, it like the look on his face, the look on her face, like, oh god, I like this guy. Holy shit! Like it's like the perfect storm of like, oh, we finally reached like this is our villain couple. All right, shit, this is dope. It was like put it this way, if you really think about it. And again, this is old hat because me and you, we've watched anime and movies for so many years. When you get the couple that's the evil version of the good couple, it's great in a way because it's like, because think about it like this. The good example of this, you remember
it's sequel syndrome. It is.
You remember Gargoyles, where it was Demona and the evil gargoyles that Xanatos cloned. And she had her own version of Goliath, who was like this gray skinned dude. And Goliath was like, the hell is this guy? And it's like, I'm with this. I like the aspect of evil versions of cool. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like
it. Yeah, of course. Like it's one thing to see like the unstoppable good guy power couple, but then when you see
the bad guy power couple,
like the evil power couple, it's like I like this. I'm not supposed to root for you, but I'm rooting for you.
and I think that's what makes it interesting because it's like, again, it's history. Like when you introduce elements to a society that's not used to seeing that, and you're just watching it kind of unfold, it's great. And you're seeing this villain group, right? And that's on top of the human stuff, which the human stuff exists. It's fine. It's the typical stuff we've seen. There's obviously going to be one human that's like, oh, I don't like all this stuff that's happening. In a weird way,
it's kind of sign up for this.
In a weird way, they kind of also updated on what the other humans have been doing on the planet and stuff. And it's actually an interesting moment, not spoiling it, but it's an interesting moment later on in the movie when you see the humans and the situation that happens. And you see all of them gathered together, and it's like, oh, I forgot there's still humans on this planet still kicking around. And, you see Giovanni Ribisi's character, the guy that's like running the company and stuff. But the other aspect of it is it's also the plot of seeing Jake's family just kind of come to terms with the death of the kid, and then just seeing how the family is sort of like dealing with that.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, again, it's old hat. Again, these Avatar movies aren't trying to reinvent the fucking wheel here. It's really just, I said it before, it's a glorified tech demo, and this third movie is actually pretty good. Visually, it's still fucking solid.
I would say this. Another friend of ours from Team JVS said it, and I totally agree with him. This is a theater experience.
No, that's why these movies aren't like thrown out every year. It's like, no.
Well, this one, hold on. When did Avatar 2 come out?
The year before last.
Exactly. And
2023. So
and that was the sequel to 2000. Was it 2009, 2010 from the first one?
2009.
Yeah, it was like 09.
Late 2009. It was like fall. Yeah, right around this time, 2009. Funny enough.
Like 09 was the first one. The second one jumps forward all the way to 2023. And then we get a sequel not even 2 years later.
Now, bear in mind, if I remember correctly, they did film 2 and 3 back to back, so that makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense. See, I didn't know that they filmed them back to back.
Yeah, they think they filmed it back to back, so we might get this fourth one pretty soon too. I think I would probably say maybe the year after next, like 2027. I think. Man, could be wrong on that, but
that's insane.
But you think about it though. I think the actors even said it's like they're gone off the radar for like 4 or 5 months at a time when they film these things and stuff. I mean, longer than that and stuff, give or take what they have to do. So it makes sense why it's like, oh yeah, of course you have to kind of like film it in bulk and stuff. And I mean, I give them credit. Like a lot of at least for me, what I like about it is that there are parts of this film, because we saw it in 3D, IMAX, and all that. I will admit there's parts of the movie that I had like trouble deciphering. Like, is this actual real? They filmed, even though they're mocap people, did they actually film it on in some sort of like sound stage with the water? Like, you really kind of questioning like what's the sound stage and what was actually real, maybe filmed in certain areas to give off the aspect of what's real and stuff. And I mean, the special effects are that good that you're really kind of trying to decipher what is what, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would
So,
say, I mean, we saw the little like the preview before the movie started of James talking about
no AI,
there was zero AI that was used in this
which I mean, you
movie.
have to, because you
And I
know,
said,
state
okay,
of where we're at now.
and I said, look, I accept that. I'm happy for that. Happy to, happy to see that actors are still working. That's great. Your actors, your film crew, everybody's got a job, and that's great. From most of the stuff they tried to show us without spoiling everything, I would say that they tried to do everything on location as much as they could, and everything that was in the sound stage, especially with the water stuff, like it shows.
Even the sky and water stuff. I mean, and granted, I think a lot of this is just, and I think what people don't understand is like with James Cameron. I think I've started to, I mean, I've always respected James Cameron as a filmmaker and a director. Like he just has a vision and he's going to execute it. And just knowing recently that him and Guillermo del Toro have a love for anime that seems very genuine. Like they love this shit. I mean, look, hey, look, James Cameron is the reason why Battle Alita Angel even existed, and I will give him credit for that movie turning out the way it did. Like he was like, no, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna go anime as fuck, and you're gonna deal with it.
I just want to say, like me personally, from looking at how all the creatures looked in this movie, and they all looked good. They all moved like very
water
very
creatures,
fluid.
especially
The water creatures look good. The land creatures were great. The flying creatures were great. I just could not help the entire time of watching this and going, James, why did nobody, I repeat, why did nobody tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, James, can we get you to do Monster Hunter?
That's the thing. It's like, I think if James were to do a Monster Hunter movie, right? If he were to do it, I know we did dive totally into a different movie. The problem with that Monster Hunter movie is that I have never seen a movie that is boring as fuck, and I just wanted to hurry up to get to the fucking point. As soon as Mila's fucking crew died, I was like, oh, now the movie's finally fucking starting up.
The guns don't work.
Ain't that a bitch but you see what I'm saying? Like I see what you're saying. You took Monster Hunter and you somehow made it boring as fuck. And then like the last 15 minutes when you give us Ron Perlman and them, all of a sudden it has some fucking damn character to it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why look, we can go on all day about how bad, man.
But you're right though, because he would definitely throw some lore into a Monster Hunter.
You could.
No bullshit. Like it would be like
there's plenty of it. There's plenty of it out there. Like you can just go to Capcom and get the actual story. But I mean, just from the visual aspect of how good the creatures looked, I was like, dude.
Oh yeah.
I was like, James, you could do a Monster Hunter movie if they just gave you the opportunity to do it.
I take it a step further though. Let's look at the Na'vi themselves, right? So obviously you have the Na'vi that Jake and his family are, right? One of the things that I appreciated from the second movie is that we get the water Na'vi and they visually look very different. They ain't just we just made them light blue and that's it. It's like, no, they have like aspects of them that's like, they are built for living under the water, but they can also live on land too. It's like a duality. What I like about the Ash folks is that they have a very sort of like the sort of like the native tribes from like the Amazon kind of vibe to them, where they're like, and I like that they're definitely differentiated from the other Na'vi and stuff in terms of just how they look beyond just the war paint. So there's something to them that's like, that's there. Like Varang, who is the leader, she clearly can dabble with the fire elements and stuff. Like that's the big deal with her is, again, she's very much, knock on wood, scorched earth about everything. Like, no, I don't believe in your God. You all got to fucking go. And I'm like, you know what? I get it. Fair.
Points were made. Points were made.
Points are made. Not saying it's right, but I understand, you know. And even the Colonel, and I think they're definitely moving towards a storyline with him where it's like Jake throughout the whole film is they have this very uneasy kind of like, and I feel it's going to lead to this, but for right now in this third movie, it's very much like we going to settle up kind of vibe.
Yeah, because this
As you
movie
do in
gives,
these kind of films.
this movie gave them at least 3 different times to settle their differences, and every time something always gets in the way, and it's we got to settle up another time.
Yeah, but man, I'm glad, but it's also part of me. I'm glad that in a weird way that they're starting to really make the Colonel have a measure of humanity to him, right? Because especially with regards to his son, who he has a focal point in this film as well, which is actually pretty interesting. And it's like in the second movie, I didn't know what the twist with him was going to be. So when you get to the third movie, you see the twist. It's like I was wondering when this was going to happen. I didn't know how it was going to look. And now I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Okay.
I like what you're doing, movie.
I like what you're doing with this. All right.
Give me more. Give me more.
Yeah, you're muddying the waters a little bit with this in a weird, okay, huh. And I think that's probably what makes this third movie entertaining is that it's throwing you beyond the action. There are story elements you're kind of invested in, like, hey, I kind of want to see where this is going to go as these movies progress, as we get to these last 2 movies. Like, what does this all mean with everything? Because I think that maybe that's where James Cameron is kind of getting at with this story of whatever he's trying to tell is like this overarching thing of maybe this might lead to humans and Na'vi finally kind of like being together once they get past all the fucking animosity and all that stuff, which that's another focal point of this film movie with was it Nefertiti or whatever. She is kind of like still conflicted over not only her son, but just you think back to the first movie when the Colonel scorched earth that fucking tree and her dad got killed alongside a bunch of other folks. It's like she really hates some humans, and I'm like, respect, I get it, I ain't gonna fault you on that.
Like, not even mad at you.
There's a line that she says, and me and Aaron's, a couple of us was like, ooh, that is that's valid message.
I mean, it was definitely valid for sure. I mean, for the love of God, I told you, I said, sir, the amount of schisms that was in this movie.
White folks gonna be like, is this movie talking about us? Yeah.
What was your first clue? That's going.
You think James Cameron? You thought you would? Oh, I'm good. I'm gonna call it right now. Somebody gonna make a video. James Cameron made a woke movie, and I'm like, yeah. Now you figured it out. Oh, God. It's gonna be some stupid fucking damn image of the video
AI thumbnail.
YouTube, the thumbnail, and it's gonna be like James Cameron is woke, like this. BS, like I swear, and even if they're
here for it,
and even if some of these folks ain't gonna be overt with it, they're gonna take pot shots. Like, I guess the humans supposed to be white people. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, you didn't pick up on them from the first movie. First movie pretty much told you these white people are crazy. Like, come on.
First Avatar movie,
yeah, right. Like
first.
Just but like
you might have missed a couple of movies.
Yeah. I'm like, look, I think for a movie like this, like, look, this movie's 3 hours and you feel it, but I think in this movie, I didn't feel it as much as the second movie, and I think it's because of the action beats and everything that's happening. That I'm not saying this movie went by quick, but it didn't feel like it dragged, I guess.
Well, I'll say this: there are times when this movie definitely kind of it hits a point where it's like, bro, movie, you're kind of all over the place here.
Yeah, I would probably say maybe within
we got like 4 different plot points happening, and it's only been an hour.
And some of it is world building plot points too. But to your point, it is like the movie is like, because the first movie you can excuse with them throwing you so much stuff in your face, right? Because it's setting up everything. Fine, we can let it go. And I think even a lot of reviewers back then said as much, but we were all wowed by the actual 3D aspect of it and stuff. So it was whatever. The second movie does the same thing, but I think the problem with the second movie is like, God damn, I get the water looks nice, bro, but you're dragging this fucking shit out too much, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, yo,
3
are they gonna
hours of
swim?
this?
Who's drowning? What the hell is going on here?
Who's drowning?
Like, nah, the second movie, the kids and them adapting to the water, some of them almost drowned and died.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
It's just no, but I
yeah,
get it.
I get it. So with this one, yeah, trust me, there is definitely a lot of plot elements getting thrown at you. But for me, I was still at least engaged with some of the action beats and some of the plot stuff. Cause I was like, hey, I'm actually very intrigued by some of the stuff. All right, cool. I get it and stuff. So do I think you'd be entertained by Avatar? Yes, you will. You will definitely be
Yeah.
entertained. Definitely see it in 3D.
Yep.
Look,
Go check it out.
James Cameron is the last of directors that actually knows how to film in fucking 3D. So
Yeah, whereas a lot of them just straight up gave up on the idea, like on the whole concept.
I think studios just gave up on it because they knew that they were just doing cheap versions of it just to make more money. I mean, if you think about that era and stuff, like, oh, you want to see this movie in IMAX? You want to see IMAX 3D? And I'm like,
Matter of fact, how many televisions today even come with 3D options?
Yeah, didn't they try that for a moment? They had 3D TVs, and then that just fizzled.
The 3D TV thing that was hot when when the first movie came out. But man, as time passed, I think by the time we hit, I would say by the time we hit maybe 2015, it just stopped. It stopped being added to
Don't most modern TVs though have an option that you can kind of flip the 3D, maybe, or is it just strictly just 3D TVs?
I think nowadays, to get it, to get a 4K television with 3D options added, I think those are like more expensive now than they back when they were pumping them out because 3D isn't so much a common thing anymore in televisions.
Yeah, it was like a gimmick thing on television.
Like how often do you even go into like an electronics store and see 3D glasses being sold?
I mean, even when those 3D TVs came out, it was kind of like, here's some special glasses that comes with the TV, and it'd be like they'll give you 1 or 2 glasses for the TV and stuff,
And you don't even see those anymore.
Yeah, so I will say this is definitely a movie I might see it and actually go to like the Air and Space Museum and actually watch it. I think that would look good on those giant ass fucking screen. That shit would probably look fucking dope as shit. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
yeah, even because like for the theater that we saw it in, I need to see this in a science theater.
Yeah,
I mean, science theater.
I mean, because a buddy of ours, he saw the second one in 4DX, and he said it was a pretty good experience watching the second movie in 4DX.
Mm-hmm.
So I can assume this one is probably like a ridiculous experience in 4DX for sure. So. But yeah, I will definitely say this is definitely it's definitely worth your time. I think you will definitely enjoy it. Go see it in 3D. If you can, go to Air and Space Museum or 4DX to watch it. It's a good experience. Definitely a step up. I would say this movie is a step up from the second movie, just mainly in just the entertainment aspect of it. It keeps your attention. You're not going to sit back looking at your watch like, bro, when is this movie over? Like and that's even with everything that gets thrown at you plot wise and stuff. Because to your point, you are right. There is like a moment where they're just throwing shit at you, and you're like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Like,
yeah, it took me a minute. I was like, okay, I got to keep my mind wrapped around this. I got to keep my mind wrapped around this. I remember this is still going on. Are we going to circle back to this yet?
Yeah,
it happens. But again, this is kind of what you get for these 3+ hour long movies.
Yeah. So with that in mind, go check out Avatar, and hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. I think this movie drops around Christmas time, so
December the 19th is when.
So drops. Right around Christmas time and stuff. So that's a good time for folks to go out and hey, take the family, go see it. They'll definitely enjoy it, and you'll like it. So yeah. Anyways, we will catch you guys later. Peace.
See you again.